Step back in time, almost 2,000 years ago, to Old Jerusalem. It is probably sometime in the early afternoon, on that first Sunday after the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, our first Easter day. A middle-aged woman comes rushing into our gathering with good news to share. Listen to the heart of a mother. Listen to Mary's heart.
He's alive. Have you heard? He's alive. My child, God's son, Jesus is alive. Oh, praise be to God. At first the men didn't believe, but it's all true, just as he said. On the third day, he'd rise again from the dead. That's today. Oh, my soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices. My heart is so full of joy. One minute I just want to dance and sing. Oh, and the next I want to fall on my knees and worship God the Father. Oh, thank you for this miracle. Oh, it is a miracle. But just as it was a miracle when I carried and gave birth to my sweet Jesus. Oh, what joy I felt then, too. Oh, but it had been such a long journey, and I was so weary of traveling. And then Bethlehem was so crowded. But God provided a clean, dry stall with fresh, sweet hay. You know, it's amazing. I'm nearly 50 years old, and that was 33 long years ago. But I still remember some of the smells, some of the sounds, even some of the visitors we had that night, like the shepherds from the local fields. All they wanted to do was just to see him and touch him and worship him. And they told us that an angel had told them right where to find us. Oh, but what I remember most is seeing my baby's face for the very first time. I couldn't stop staring. All I wanted to do was just to hold him tight and protect him. It still overwhelms me to think, why should I, a simple young girl from Nazareth, be so favored in God's eyes to be chosen to carry his only son? All this and so much more I have treasured in my heart. Like the time we thought we lost Jesus. I mean, it was right after the feast of the Passover. And I thought Jesus was with Joseph and the men, and he thought he was walking with me and the women. I mean, he was nearly of age. He was 12 years old. But he was still so much a boy and not yet a man. We searched everywhere for him. We retraced our steps. We went back to Jerusalem. For 3 long, agonizing days, we searched for him. And where do you suppose we found him? Sitting in the temple courts, listening and asking questions of the teachers. Well, on one hand, I was relieved. But on the other, I'd been worried and upset when I said, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously looking for you." The words he answered me with make sense to me more now than they did even then. When he said, "Did you not know I'd be in my Father's house?" Oh, words. Words. I can almost hear his voice now. And in the past 3 years, he has shared words that have changed people's lives. He has shared words that healed the sick. He has shared words of truth. He shared words that even calmed the sea. He shared words that came directly from his Heavenly Father. The words that echo in my heart the most are the ones I could barely hear just 3 days ago, when I kneeled at the foot of his cross. And he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." He had done nothing wrong. He never did anything wrong. And here he was asking God to forgive them. They beat him. They spat on him. They flogged him like a criminal. And then mocking him, they put this crown of thorns on his head that brought blood down his face and his cheeks. And then after carrying this heavy cross, they took nails and they hammered him into his hands and his feet. He cried out, and there was nothing I could do. I'm his mother, and there was nothing I could do. It was like a sword was piercing my heart and soul with every pound of that hammer. But even then, he thought of me, his mother, when he asked John to take me into his house and care for me. He thought of the criminal on the cross when he gave him hope. And all the while, I saw this peace that I had seen time and time again, and I didn't quite understand. But then, after he suffered no more, and he took his last breath, the ground shook beneath our feet. People were running and screaming everywhere. It got dark. But there were a few that stood at the foot of his cross and looked up, for they finally understood that everything he said must be true. Must be true. Must be true. It is true. He's alive. The tomb's empty. Oh, don't you see? For the past 3 days, I have ached from the inside out with sorrow in my heart. I have wept till I thought there were no more tears left to weep. But I remembered his words when he said, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." I am comforted because he lives. He has turned my weeping into gladness. The time for weeping and mourning is over. He's alive. The tomb's empty. He died in my place. He died in your place, so we could live with him forever in paradise. As the scripture said, by his wounds we are healed. In fact, all the scriptures of old have come true in one person, my child, God's Son, Jesus, the Messiah. Oh, tell everyone you know, and tell the whole world knows he's alive.